This is the world where humans and soul pets live together. When you become a soul pet master, you can summon your soul pet to fight for you, however, in this Nightmare Demon Island. At the Nightmare Demon base, people in the black robe use their power to summon something while many of the kids cry and look at the people in the black robe. Our protagonist's name is Chu Mu. He's one of the many kids. It's been a few days since Chu Mu has been captured and brought to that island, and the children there are experimental subjects. Also, their current situation was the 10th fighting experimental group including Chu Mu among the children, and the enemy the kids fighting is the soul pet masters summoned soul pets. The purpose of the bloody experiment is to awaken the kids' inner body's special soul pet and simulate the evil soul pet's growth. The evil soul pets are very special among soul pets. Once the owner grows slower than the evil soul pets, the soul will be devoured by the evil soul pet, and the kids, who are the experimental subject, are captured and brought to the island to be forced to sign a contract with the evil soul pets, either be devoured by the evil soul pet or be killed by the soul pet. No matter what, Chu Mu knows he must survive. One of the people in the black robe announced that today is a physical fitness test, which means it is a matter of life and death. The man said they will only select 50 slots for training, and they will proceed with further training, which also means half of them will die today during the test. Then the leader named Deacon Kaoyi laughs and tells the kids to enjoy the joy of death, and only those who have been through life and death situations frequently are the ones qualified to enter their Nightmare Demon place. Then the monster jumped toward the kid and tore off the kid's arm, which made the kid cry and shout in pain. Then the other kid started running away and starts crying while the monsters is chasing after them. Chu Mu look at the wolf who's currently eating the unfortunate kid. The hunt wolves are soul pets from Demon Beast World, beast type, wolf tribe from the fur color, and height, the wolves are roughly ranked 8. Chu Mu think if the wolves are rank 8, it's definitely stronger than a strong adult with a big sword, and if he wants to stay alive, he must need to try and fight those hunting wolves, but to figure out ways to survive and dodge the hunting wolves' attack, until 50 other children are killed first. Just minutes pass, but many children are dead on the ground while the Nightmare Demon members is laughing. On the other hand, Chu Mu and the other children keep running while the wolves are chasing them. Then Chu Mu saw someone and realizes that it was Zhu Shengmo, who was among those who were sent to the Green Nightmare Demon Island with him. Chu Mu know that Sheng has the best aptitude, that's why when he runs past Sheng he warned him that behind him there are wolves, but Sheng grabs Chu Mu's hand and throws him in front of the wolf. But Chu Mu used his hand to balance and swing his body aside before he got bitten by the wolf. Then he fall to the ground while looking at the angry wolf. Then Chu Mu stand up and start to run again. Then the wolf jumped toward him, which made Chu Mu said the wolf is jumping at him from behind. Then he bends down to avoid the wolf's attack. Unfortunately, his back got cut, which made Chu Mu cry in pain. Then Chu Mu sit back and see the wolf angrier, which made him say that the blood smell makes the wolf more berserk. Then the wolf attack him and Chu Mu tried to push the wolf off of him. But the wolf is too strong and it opens its mouth, which made its saliva drop on Chu Mu's face, who's crying. Suddenly someone's hand clapped while ordering the wolves to stop. Then the person who was above the dead children's in the ground used the flute to make a noise, which mean the 10th experiment is done. The wolf get off at Chu Mu, then Chu Mu tried to stand up shakingly. Kaoyi announced that there are 50 remaining survivors, but he cleared that it was only temporary. Then he also announces that starting from tomorrow, the children's can move freely around the island and they need to tame soul pets as battle weapons because there will be a bloodbath battle starting very soon. Then Kaoyi orders the children to get lost, go back to their home, and celebrate. Then Kaoyi noticed Chu Mu, who's trying to walk while injured, but Chu Mu collapsed on the ground. Later at the castle, Kaoyi enters the castle. Then the lady tells Kaoyi that Zia has been waiting for him for a long time. Then Kaoyi bends down to the man to pay his respects to leader Zia. Zia asks Kaoyi if the brat called Chu Mu died. Kaoyi nervously responded that Chu Mu is still alive. Zia tells Kaoyi that the client's information clearly stated that he is Chu family's normal kid, and Chu Mu can block his inner body with white nightmare demons snorting and won't die. Then Zia said it was weird. Kaoyi asks Zia why don't they finish Chu Mu off so that he can answer his client. Zia looks at Kaoyi smiling and responding no, and he should let Chu Mu be because it seems like Chu Mu still have some abilities. So they should let Chu Mu continue nurturing his white nightmare demon and see how long will Chu Mu be able to stay alive. A few hours later, on the island, Chu Mu, who's still laying on the ground surrounded by children. One of the kids asks if Chu Mu is dead. The other kid looked at Chu Mu's injured back and said Chu Mu lost so much blood and he might be a goner. Then Sheng, who's holding a bucket of water, tells the other kids to move aside. Then he throws the water into Chu Mu, making him wakes up. Then Sheng rotated the bucket in his fingers while saying, as you can see, he's still alive. Chu Mu look at Sheng angrily while trying to stand up. But Sheng hit Chu Mu using the bucket and asks him why he's looking at him like that. Then Sheng grabs Chu Mu's head and pins it to the ground while telling Chu Mu that he might as well worry about the nightmare inside him if he has the time to hate him. Then Sheng throws the bucket away while telling Chu Mu that he is so weak and when he will be devoured by the nightmare demon. He would have wished that he died yesterday. Then Sheng laughs, which made Chu Mu angrily, and glared at Sheng back while promising himself that he will pay Sheng back for what he did to him. Then Chu Mu collapsed to the ground again. A few days later, in the house, Chu Mu opened his eyes and noticed that he's inside the house. Suddenly, Chu Mu's roommate named Ting Yu asks him if he's finally awake. Chu Mu happily asked Ting if he didn't die, which made Ting shocked and angrily responded if she was dead there will be no one to help him apply the medicines. Then she asks Chu Mu how his wounds are and if it still hurt. Chu Mu sit up while responding that his wounds don't hurt anymore and he feels much better. Then he thanked Ting. Ting tells Chu Mu to save his appreciation because that time she helped him, and if she has trouble in the future, he should remember to help her. Chu Mu responded he'll try while stretching her arms. Then he realized something and asked Ting how long did he sleep. Ting responded that he slept for around 3 days, which made Chu Mu stand up and get his shirt. Ting tells Chu Mu that his injuries haven't fully healed yet, and she asks him where is he going. Chu Mu responded the test is starting soon, so he have to quickly tame a soul pet. Ting said she'll go with him so they can look out for each other. But Chu Mu tells Ting that it's better if they travel alone because if they both meet a good soul pet, they can't split it, which made Ting tells Chu Mu that she doesn't trust others and don't want to. But Chu Mu just responded that he's also not worthy of her trust, then left leaving Ting angry while saying if they come across a good soul pet, she will let him choose first. A moment later, in the forest, Chu Mu was walking. In his way, he was attacked by a snake but avoided it. Attacked by the wild boar but jumped to avoid it. Then he thinks if he remembers correctly, he will reach the center of the island after he passes through the forest. And even though it is dangerous, but the soul pet there are much stronger. A few minutes later, he arrived at the thorny forest. Suddenly the vine grabbed his feet and pulled him. While the vine is pulling him, he got injured by the thorny plant. Then the monster named Root Thorn Demon lift him up. The Root Thorn Demon plant world class is a vine type. Thorn demon group that grows in the forest with thorns, specialized in capturing creatures touring through the forest, and it is one of the most common carnivorous creatures of the plant world. Chu Mu cut the vine which made him free and ran away, then he get into the dead vines to hide. But the Root Thorn Demon noticed him and attacked him angrily, but Chu Mu said it was great because the Root Thorn Demon's attack helped him create a path. Then he ran away fast while the Root Thorn Demon vines chased him, then the vine hit his buttocks, which made him jump and shout in pain. Then he falls to the cliff. When he opened his eyes, he found himself hanging in the tree branch which made him happily say he was still alive. But the branch broke making him fall to the ground. While laying on the ground he heard something walking. Then he hides behind the tree while holding his knife, and when he peeks back he saw a red cloud wolf. Then the red cloud wolf walked toward him which made him confused. Then he swing his knife while telling the red cloud wolf to go away which made the wolf confused. Then it start to walk away. Then Chu Mu starts to walk while thinking it was a weakling wolf that doesn't even have combat ability. A few minutes later, somewhere in the forest, Chu Mu was on the branch of the tree wondering if he was looking at Milton Lizard Monster. The Milton Lizard is a beast world class, it's a beast type, and it's a monster that has great strength and defense. Also, its speed and agility are slightly weaker than the close combat Soul Spirit. Suddenly someone appeared, and the kid tried to use his Soul Spirit contract to tame the Milton Lizard which made the lizard shocked and angry. The kid's soul touches the Milton Lizard's tail, but the lizard shakes off his soul away which made the kid said he failed. Then the Milton Lizard attacked the kid which made the kid shocked and run away while the Milton Lizard chased after him. Chu Mu who's in the branch called the kid dumbass and said if the kid can't tame the Soul Spirit with Soul Spirit contract, he will only make it angrier. Chu Mu also said before taming the Milton Lizard, he have to make preparation. A few hours later, he finishes making trap, then he lifts the trap to the tree branch and holds its string. Then he put the Soul Spirit core fragment under his trap. The core had many soul spirits who will eat it as food. Chu Mu said the soul spirit only needs to take the bait, then he laughed while hiding in the bush nearby. The sunset was about to set off, but Chu Mu was still in the same area eating while saying it's been half a day, then he wonder why isn't it appearing. Suddenly the caterpillar fell to his head and landed on his hand. Then the caterpillar looked at his sandwich excitedly which made him confused. Then Chu Mu give his bread to the caterpillar while saying it can eat it, and he hopes it can bring him some good luck which made the caterpillar happy. After a few more minutes, Chu Mu heard something coming which made him say that it has taken the bait. Then the red cloud wolf walked toward the soul spirit core fragment carefully. Then the wolf grabbed the core which made Chu Mu about to loose the string, but he changes his mind while thinking he can't waste his trap on such a weak soul spirit. 2 days later, in the same area, a blue star wolf grabs the core happily leaving Chu Mu confused. 4 days later, a wolf once again gets the core which made Chu Mu wonder why is it a wolf again. And 7 days later, Chu Mu see another wolf grabbing his core again, which made him swear in anger. Then Chu Mu angrily wonder if he offends wolves and why are there so many wolves. 10 days later, Chu Mu is happily looking at the wolf who was carefully walking toward the core, and when the wolf grabs the core, Chu Mu loosed the string. But the wolf avoided his trap and walked away, while Chu Mu chased behind him angrily, telling it not to run away. Then the caterpillar spit silk and tied the wolf's feet, which made the wolf fearfully fall to the ground. Then Chu Mu patted the caterpillar while telling it that he didn't expect it to be able to spit silk, but it did nicely. Then Chu Mu grabbed the wolf while happily saying that he finally can tame one today. But he notices something and looks at the wolf while saying it's weird and asks why the wolf's head also has a moon mark. Chu Mu realized that the previous wolves all had a moon mark too, but all those wolves were a different type, so he wondered how can it be that all the wolves have the same mark. Then he remembers that he read a book before. There's a very rare case of race mutation, and the soul spirit can break through shackles, mutate itself, and can become a stronger race. Then he looked at the wolf in his hand and said that little thing mutated so many times in just a few days. Then Chu Mu said continuously mutating soul spirit has unlimited talent and potential. Then he uses his soul spirit contract to tame the wolf. Then Chu Mu press his hand to the wolf, then he looks closely, but the wolf avoided his soul contract, which made him angry and think the little wolf dares to reject him. Then he pinned the wolf on the ground while saying his soul force is enough for him to use 9 more spirit soul contracts, and he tells the wolf that he's surely making it his soul pet, no matter what happens. After an 8th try of soul contracts, Chu Mu was laying on the ground with the wolf exhausted. Chu Mu angrily said he only left with one last try. Suddenly the silk on the wolf's feet broke, which made the wolf free and look at Chu Mu in a teasing way. Then the wolf ran away while Chu Mu chased it, telling it to come back. The night comes. Chu Mu was in the thorn forest while angrily saying he can't believe he has to come to that place again. Suddenly he saw the wolf fly out of the thorn forest, which made Chu Mu shock. Then the wolf landed on the ground in pain. Then the root thorn demon vines come out and attack them. Then the demon angrily looks at them and attacked them both using its vines. The thorn demon grabbed and hit the stones and made it fly, hitting the wolf, but Chu Mu blocks it. The wolf fell to the ground, which made the thorn demon use his vines to attack the wolf. Chu Mu noticed it and shout, then he jumped toward the wolf and grab it. Then they roll to the ground. The thorn demon veins come out underground to attack them. Chu Mu notice it, but it's too late. Then the vines lift them up in the air upside down. The thorn demon pulled them toward it, but Chu Mu moved his hand toward the wolf and opened it, while telling the wolf that he don't want to be tamed by anyone, but is currently too weak, and it was extremely hard for him to survive on the island. Then Chu Mu tells the wolf that if he wishes to become stronger, he can help him. Then he opens his soul spirit contract at the wolf while telling it to accept his soul spirit contract. The wolf closes his eyes and puts its paw in Chu Mu's hand, which means he accepts Chu Mu's contract. Suddenly the wolf becomes stronger and uses its claws and cut off the thorn demon vines to free him, which made the thorn demon angry and pulled Chu Mu to its mouth. Then Chu Mu noticed the soul core of the root thorn demon inside its mouth, and he said the thorn demon exposed its weakness, to which the wolf understand and run fast inside the root thorn demon mouth and pulled off its core. Then the thorn demon shakes for a second and collapsed in the ground. The wolf happily stands on the collapsed root thorn demon while Chu Mu pick up the thorn demon core on the ground while saying their today's earning is not bad. Then Chu Mu throw the core toward the wolf while telling it to take the core. Suddenly someone grabbed the core before the wolf catch it, which made the wolf shocked. Then Chu Mu angrily looked back while asking who's the bastard that gets the core. Then he saw the kid from before, who's holding the core while his pet centipede was beside him. Chu Mu looked at the kid and called the kid named Zhang Luo to say that the core is his hunting reward. But Luo just laughs and asks him if his trash wolf really defeated the rank 2 root thorn demon while showing his cores, to which made Chu Mu saw the monster attributes core and tells Luo, who's walking away, to wait up. Chu Mu showed his cores to Luo while saying he can give up on the root thorn demon core, but Luo need a worm attribute core and he need a beast attribute core. Chu Mu also tell Luo that their duel is 2 days later, and if he wins, he should give his beast attribute core, but if he loses, he will give him those 3 worm attributes core. Luo laughs and tells Chu Mu that he wants to negotiate a trade with him when he can directly kill him, but Chu Mu proudly said that the examiners have banned them from fighting with each other privately, but they can duel officially, and he asks Luo if could it be that he wants to go against orders, which made Luo shock. Then Luo spit angrily and told Chu Mu that he will give him 2 days to treasure his last moments with his trash wolf, which made Chu Mu angry. A few moments later, in the house, Chu Mu is reading the Beast Souls book, while Ting is patting the wolf who was on the table while saying it was a cute moonlight wolf. Then Ting asked Chu Mu if he have given the wolf's name, which made Chu Mu shocked and responded that he haven't, then think about what he should name it. A few minutes later, Chu Mu tell the wolf that they will call him Mozai, which means when silent he is kind and beautiful, but when he takes action he is our atrocity and sharp. Mozai sit up happily, which made Ting say, Mozai, it seems he like his name. Then Chu Mu back to reading the book and saw the Moonlight Wolf. It was a beast world-class demon spirit attribute, and its demon wolf tribe is Moonlight Wolf's subfamily. It was slightly lower than middle rank, and its agility type soul pet is combat ability normal. Its special attack mode uses claws, fur has resistance ability, and its eye can use charm ability to weaken the enemy's combat willpower. Its race skill is Moon Sublimation Blast. Its basic skills are Moon Shadow, Charm, and Act Pitiful. Its main skill are Tear Claw and Sneak Attack. Also, its high-class skill is Moonlight Claw. Chu Mu closed the book while saying the current rank and skill of Mozai is so weak. Ting asks Chu Mu if he is sure he wants to use Moonlight Wolf to challenge Luo's 10-leg centipede, to which Chu Mu responded yes, but Ting reminds Chu Mu that if the Moonlight Claw is unable to tear apart the centipede's armor, it will be dangerous. Chu Mu stands up and stretches his body while saying that the reason why he's going to use the remaining 2 days to train Mozai. Then Ting shyly asks Chu Mu why don't they train together the next day, but Chu Mu just lay on the bed and slept, leaving Ting speechless. Then Ting sits down while saying Chu Mu picked such a weak Moonlight Wolf, so she wonders what Chu Mu is thinking about. But Ting looks at Mozai lovely while saying Mozai is so cute. The next morning Chu Mu and Mozai enter the forest. Then Chu Mu touched the tree while telling Mozai that the ability is to his advantage and they need to increase his attack power. Then Chu Mu orders Mozai to attack the tree using its claw, to which Mozai immediately did and attacks the tree using its claw. Mozai comes down, leaving only a small scratch on the tree, which made Chu Mu disappointed and orders Mozai to continue to attack the tree. Mozai repeatedly attacked the tree, but its paw got stuck small wood, which made it look at Chu Mu crying. But Chu Mu just looked down and marked the tree using his knife, and order Mozai to continue to attack the tree until it falls. Mozai attacks the tree continuously even though its claw starts to hurt and bleeds. When the sun is about to set off, Mozai finally hit the tree one last time, and the tree falls to the ground in half while Mozai shakingly looks at it. Chu Mu proudly tells Mozai that he did nice, which made Mozai happy. Then Chu Mu touches Mozai while telling him that he can return to the soul pet space and rest first. After the Soul Pet Master and Soul Pets formed a contract, an exclusive Soul Beast space gets created, and the space allows the Soul Pet's physique and stamina to recover faster than the outside world. Then Chu Mu look at the mountain while saying he heard that the mountain contains some good medicine ingredients, but he don't know if he can find any. A few hours later, in the house, Chu Mu was mixing something in the bowl while Ting asked him if he was alright. Chu Mu responded that he just have some bursaries when collecting medicine grass, which made Ting ask him what medicine he was mixing. Chu Mu responded it was a deep blue heal grass, and it has incredible healing effects on the soul pets. Also, it can make Mozai's damaged claws regrow, and the new claws will be even sharper. Then Chu Mu said Mozai will become even stronger. The next morning, Mozai comes out off the soul pet space, then Mozai uses its claws to stop himself, which leaves a scratch on the ground. Chu Mu lift up Mozai and happily said Mozai's claws have grown stronger. Ting heard Chu Mu and barge in the house while saying it looks like Mozai made a good recovery. Then Ting tells Chu Mu that Luo is already waiting for him at the arena. Chu Mu confidently said that it was time to teach Luo a lesson. Meanwhile, in the arena, the children, Luo, and the examiner named Deacon Zhengzi were waiting for Chu Mu. The kids started to become annoyed because Chu Mu was not arriving yet, and they thinks Chu Mu wimp out because his pet is a trash wolf. One of the kids said Chu Mu is here, to which Luo assured the kid not to worry about that kind of trash because he will win within 3 moves. On the other hand, while Chu Mu and Ting walking toward the arena, Ting notices something and whispered to Chu Mu that the long-haired person is named Ju King, and she heard that Ju King's soul pet is a scale snake, a high-rank soul pet, rank 6th. Then Zheng closes his book and order everyone who has nothing to do with the duel to stay away. Then Zheng starts the duel between Chu Mu and Luo. Luo opens his soul power to call his centipede while looking at Chu Mu, but Chu Mu just calmly opens his soul power to call Mozai while looking back at Luo. Then Zheng said the duel begin. Luo's centipede looks at Mozai, then Luo orders his centipede to attack, to which the centipede uses its tail to attack Mozai, which made Chu Mu shout telling Mozai to watch out. Mozai avoided the centipede attack, then Chu Mu ordered Mozai to run around in a circle, which Mozai immediately did. Then Mozai attacks the centipede's tail, body, and head using its claws, which leave marks on the centipede's body. Luo angrily thinks Mozai is annoying trash, and he orders his centipede to dig into the ground, which the centipede did, and goes underground, leaving Mozai confused. Ting tells Chu Mu to be careful because the centipede will sneak attack from the underground while Mozai is focused on moving. But Chu Mu told Ting not to worry about it, which made Ting angry and asked Chu Mu why he isn't listening to her. Chu Mu closed his eyes and used his soul energy perception. Then he saw the centipede crawling underground behind Mozai's back. Then the centipede crawls up, but before it can attack Mozai, Chu Mu orders Mozai to dodge and attack. When the centipede come out underground, Mozai avoided it. Then Mozai jumped toward the centipede and attack it using its claws. Then Mozai comes down and runs away. Luo confidently said Mozai's attack is useless because his centipede has enhanced its belly with armor, so Chu Mu's trash little wolf won't be able to harm it. Suddenly, Mozai looked back in confusion, while Luo ordered his centipede to finish the trash wolf off, but the centipede collapsed on the ground dead, which made Mozai happy. Luo was shocked and thinks it was impossible. Then he held his head knowing that he's doomed and it was all over. Then Luo clenches his teeth in anger and grabs his knife behind him. Then he runs toward Chu Mu to attack while telling Chu Mu to go to hell, which made Ting shocked in horror. Luo held the knife while running toward Chu Mu, who stands still, and closed his eyes to stab Chu Mu. But before Chu Mu got hit, Mozai jumped toward Luo and attacked Luo's hand using its claws, which made Luo let go of the knife and shout in pain. Chu Mu tells Luo that if he takes any more steps closer, he's gonna die, which made Luo angry, and gives the cores to Chu Mu as a promise. When Chu Mu was going to leave, someone asks him if he want to leave, which made Chu Mu shocked. And when he looked back, he saw King angrily walking toward him. Then King called his scaled snake. Then the snake come out from the soul pet space, which made the kids shocked in fear and Zheng stunned. Ting fearfully thinks King dares to attack someone in front of a deacon. Chu Mu angrily look at the snake and realize it was a rank 4 scaled snake. Then King orders his snake to attack Chu Mu, which the snake did and crawls toward where Chu Mu and Mozai were. But before the snake get to where Chu Mu and Mozai were, someone shouted, which made Chu Mu look back and saw the kids fearfully looking and pointing at Luo, who was kneeling on the ground in pain. King saw it and run toward Luo, but before he can get to Luo, Luo shouts in pain while something comes out of his body. King held Luo's shoulder and asked Luo what happened to him. Suddenly something thrown away King. Then a black and white smoke circled Luo, which made Luo shout in pain. Then a monster comes out and grabs Luo's neck tightly. Then it slowly gets Luo's soul. One of the kids fearfully pointed at the monster and said it was the nightmare demon that made Chu Mu, Ting, and the other children shocked. King, who was looking near at the night demon, angrily said the nightmare demon that came out is around rank 1. Zheng said when there isn't much soul energy to provide for the nightmare demon, it will devour their soul. Then the nightmare demon let go the lifeless Luo in the ground and happily shout because it's free, which made the scaled snake and Mozai shake in fear. Also, it made the children panic while asking if they were all going to die there. Zheng walked toward the nightmare demon while holding a plate, which made the children and the nightmare demon shocked. Then Zheng said something which made the plate with marks glow, and it pulled the nightmare demon inside. After a few moments, the nightmare demon was completely trapped inside the plate with marks. Then Zheng put the plate inside his coat while announcing that it was the end of the duel and before the exam. All forms of duels are restricted. Chu Mu, Ting, and the other kids started to walk away, leaving King angrily standing up. When King is fully stand up, he called Chu Mu angrily and said he will avenge Luo, so Chu Mu should wait because he will be devoured by his scaled snake. Chu Mu just turned around and held his hand in the air while responding that he will see him try, which made King very angry. A few weeks later, Mozai attacked the flower monster, which made it collapse on the ground. Ting tells Mozai that is amazing and it's so obvious that her flower thorn demon is higher rank, but still not a match for Mozai, which made Mozai happily walk. Then Mozai jumps toward Chu Mu, who's telling Ting that it's just that Mozai is very agile and able to counter her soul pet easily. With just some more practice, he is sure that not many can be stronger than her. Ting gets down and sends her flower thorn demon into the soul pet space while saying it's not necessarily true because as far as she knows, there are few people whose soul pets are much stronger than her flower thorn demon, which made Chu Mu said to Ting she should tell him about them. Ting told Chu Mu that he only knows how to occupy himself in training and doesn't care about anything else, so eventually he will suffer losses because of that. Then Ting said there's Tang Zion's Steel Fang, Gu Feng's Rock Golem, there's also Ji King's Scaled Snake, which is even able to swallow him, and Zhu Shengmo's Hunter Wolf. Chu Mu angrily remember that Sheng pushed him before, and he thinks one day he will definitely take his revenge. King flicks Chu Mu's forehead while asking Chu Mu what is he thinking about because he looks so pale. Chu Mu awkwardly responded it's nothing. Then Ting said there's also one more, and that's him because he was able to train an ornamental type soul pet into that state, and she was sure he could pass the test. But Chu Mu started to walk away, which made Ting shocked and ask him where is he going. Chu Mu responded that he's going to the inner island to look for some medical herbs, and it might be dangerous. So he tells Ting to head back first, which made Ting angry, and Ting said Chu Mu didn't even thank her for complimenting him. While Chu Mu was walking, the caterpillar alerted at something which Chu Mu noticed and patted the caterpillar while asking what it is or if he's hungry. But the caterpillar just pulled Chu Mu hands, which made Chu Mu ask it if there was something ahead, which made the caterpillar look back at him confidently. On the other hand, somewhere in the forest, the black-haired kid said Sheng and the others have gone far abroad, and he can't believe he ordered them to patrol the perimeter. The other kid sighed and responded that they are no match for Sheng and are only worthy of vigilante work. The black-haired kid said, however, after Sheng gets his third soul pet, no one will be a match for him. Then the other kid asked if isn't that why they joined Sheng. The black-haired kid responded is right and said Sheng promised that he will help them to inflict heavy damage on other groups and will give them one of the 10 spots. On the other hand, behind the bush, Chu Mu thinks Sheng has surprisingly reached the 7th tamer rank, and a soul pet master's cultivation is divided into 9 ranks. The first 3 ranks are low ranks, followed by the middle 3, the middle rank, and lastly, the rest 3 are high ranks, and a high rank is able to have 3 soul pacts. Chu Mu think if he let Sheng get his 3rd soul pet, then it will be hard for him to kill him, so he must disrupt Sheng's plans. Then he hides inside the bush while making a noise that catches the attention of 2 kids. The 2 kids walk toward the bush confused to inspect. Suddenly Mozai jumps and attacks the black-haired kid, which made the other kid shocked. Then the other kid saw his friend collapse on the ground, which made him shout that it was an ambush. Then he saw Chu Mu and immediately called his rock golem. The rock golem elemental class world is a rock type, and its golem race is a min-rank monster. It's having a height of 1.3 meters, and it's like a humanoid with a strong build and particularly bulky arms. The rock golem jumped toward Chu Mu to attack, but Chu Mu avoided it, while the kid ran and called Sheng to help him. The caterpillar appeared in the bush and spit silk to cover the kid's mouth. The kid kneeled down, which made Chu Mu see the opportunity and order Mozai to kill the kid, while the kid tried to take off the silk in his mouth and ordered the rock golem in his head to be quick to come back and protect him. The rock golem chased Mozai, who was running toward the kid. Then Mozai cut the kid's throat, which made the kid collapse on the ground dead, leaving the rock golem confused. Then the rock golem turned around and started to walk away, while Chu Mu said once the soul pet monster dies, the contract will be null. And the soul pet without a master can easily turn his hatred on the person who killed his master. Then Chu Mu looked at the kid on the ground and said it seems like his soul pet doesn't even want to avenge him, so it seems like there wasn't even any affection between the 2 of them. Then Chu Mu asked the caterpillar who's in the tree if it can find out what the others are doing. Then it goes away to follow Chu Mu's order, which made Chu Mu thinks it's a reliable scout. The caterpillar seriously looks at the other kids while hiding under the tree leaves. Suddenly Sheng heard something and asks the other kids what's that sound. Then Sheng looked around at his surroundings seriously. Then Sheng said, Tang Zion, and he will continue on their pursuit of the flame tail. Then he orders Luo Chen to go and take a look if someone gets in the way, which made Luo Chen shocked. Sheng also tells Luo Chen if someone gets in their way he should kill them. A few moments later, they found the flame tail and fight it. Then Sheng tells Zion to let his steel fang continue its attack and keep the flame tail occupied. Then he said he will deal the last hit, and Zion responded okay. While thinking on the way there till their current situation, he did all the work. Then he ordered his steel fang to attack the flame tail, which it did. The flame tail looks at the steel fang, who's shouting in exhaustion. Sheng orders his hunter wolf to use its dark assault. Then the wolf runs toward the flame tail and attacks it, which made the flame tail fall to the ground, while the hunter wolf is proud of itself. Zion asks Sheng why Luo Chen still hasn't come back yet and if something happens to Chen. Sheng, who's getting the core of the flame tail, tells Zion not to worry because Chen is as strong as he, and not many people are capable of beating him. Suddenly, they heard footsteps behind them, which made Zion look back while saying Chen is finally there and they were just talking about him. But he was paused and shocked, which made Sheng look back and saw Chu Mu, who was holding a bloody knife, and Mozai in front of them. Zion fearfully asks if it means Chen and the others are all killed. But Sheng just smiled and said since Chen died, it saves him the trouble to beware of his betrayer. Then ordering Zion to kill Chu Mu, but Zion tells Sheng that his steel fang doesn't have much strength left. Sheng told Zion that if he can kill Chu Mu, he will help him capture his 3rd soul pet the next day. And Chu Mu is also exhausted because he fought with 3 people in a row. So Sheng tells Zion to trust him and go, which made Zion think Sheng still wants to preserve his strength and reap the benefits. Chu Mu pointed to order Mozai to attack Zion, and Zion called his steel fang to attack too. Mozai and steel fang attacks just hit each other, then it attack again, but the attacks just hit each other's attack. While their master are watching, Chu Mu noticed the wounds of Mozai and thinks Steel Fang is very agile, so Mozai doesn't hold the advantage in close combat fighting. Then he thinks carefully and orders Mozai to use his charm. Mozai back off near Chu Mu and closes its eyes, while Sheng tells Zion that his Steel Fang is already ranked 8, so there's no way it will be charmed by Mozai. Then he orders Zion to kill Chu Mu quickly. Then Steel Fang run toward Mozai to attack, but before it hit Mozai, Chu Mu opened his eyes, which made Sheng shocked, and orders Zion to let his Steel Fang close its eyes quickly. Steel Fang was shocked to see Chu Mu's eyes, then it becomes slowly charms. Then Mozai cut Steel Fang back, which made Zion stutter and said it was impossible. Then he looked down at his Steel Fang tail that fell to the ground. Chu Mu immediately throw his knife towards Zion, who got hit in the forehead, which made Sheng angrily tells Chu Mu that he didn't expect him to be a spirit soldier. After Soul Pet Master reaches spirit soldier rank, they can use their soul energy as a price to use the soul skill. Soul skill, Charm, is the Chu family's most unique skill and able to allow Soul Pet Masters to use their soul pet skill. Then Sheng smiles while telling Chu Mu that he has to admit, he's strong and no wonder he can survive until now, even with White Nightmare's torture. Then he kicks Zion, who's dead on the ground, while saying the kids are a bunch of trash. Then he smiles and tells Chu Mu that it was a pity because his current state can't defeat his hunter wolf, and since they have the same goal. Then he asks Chu Mu if he wants them to work together. But Chu Mu angrily called Sheng bastard and said death is the only option for trash like him. Sheng called his hunter wolf while telling Chu Mu that since he have declined his offer, he will kill him. The hunter wolf comes out and uses its bloodthirst skill to gather all the blood on the ground and consume it, making it stronger. Then Sheng angrily orders his hunter wolf to thorn Chu Mu apart. Then Sheng orders his hunter wolf to attack. Hunter wolf runs toward Mozai and attacks Mozai using its claws, which made Mozai thrown away. Then the wolf shouts angrily, which made Sheng smile and order it to use demonic attack, to which the wolf immediately did and hit Mozai multiple times. Mozai gets down on the ground and angrily looks at the wolf. Sheng tells Chu Mu that his wolf is so weak because his trash wolf can't even land a hit on his hunter wolf's skin, so he's dead. Chu Mu think he can't activate his soul skill again and he can only rely on Mozai, so the situation all depends on Mozai. Chu Mu orders Mozai to go into hiding, then attack, to which Mozai immediately followed and hides in the bush, but Sheng said Chu Mu is naive. Suddenly Sheng was shocked to see Mozai attacking him from behind. But Sheng Wolf noticed it and attacked Mozai, which made Mozai thrown onto the ground, while Sheng asked Chu Mu why he was trying to harm him using a sneak attack because it's cheap tricks. But then Sheng noticed that his wolf had wounds from Mozai's attacks and was shocked that Mozai can hurt his wolf. Then he smiled and said those small wounds will only make his wolf more berserk. Then the hunter wolf jumps toward Mozai to attack, but Mozai counterattacks it. Then the two pets land on the ground both injured, which made Sheng confused about how is that possible. Then Sheng angrily said he totally forgot about Mozai's faking ability. Chu Mu ordered Mozai to get rid of the acting pitiful state, and they should show Sheng his true appearance, to which Mozai did. Acting pitiful is the Moonlight Wolf's unique skill that means no matter what combat ability the Moonlight Wolf is at, it will always look small and weak in front of others. Mozai slowly changed its appearance. His paws and claws got bigger, his fur showed a red fur line, and his size got 3 times bigger, which made Sheng thinks he didn't expect Mozai to reach rank 9 with just training. But he still confidently said trash is still trash no matter even if it ranks 9 or not. Then he orders his hunter wolf to change into its bloodthirsty berserk mode, to which the wolf immediately did, which makes Mozai shock. Then wolf attacked Mozai. Fortunately, Mozai avoided it. Then the wolf looks at Chu Mu, which made Chu Mu shocked and clench his teeth because he knows he was in danger. Then the wolf jumps into Chu Mu, which made Chu Mu pinned to the ground, while Sheng is smilingly and told him to die. While Chu Mu struggled to push off the wolf, he saw a bright moon in the sky and ordered Mozai to use a charm, to which Mozai did, and run toward the wolf. When the wolf looked back, Mozai used his claws and cut off the wolf's head. Chu Mu pushed the wolf's body to the ground and stand up, which made Sheng shocked and said Chu Mu used the Moonlight Sublimation Blast. Moonlight Sublimation Blast is a passive skill that the Moonlight Wolf race has, which help to recover itself quickly under the moonlight, and also increases its all combat ability. Sheng runs away in fear, but Chu Mu orders Mozai to kill Sheng, to which Mozai chased Sheng and killed it, leaving a horrifying shout. Mozai come back to Sheng and happily licked Chu Mu's face, who was praising him that he did good work. Then Chu Mu sent Mozai to the soul pet space to rest. Suddenly, Chu Mu's chest hurt, which made him said it was bad, while something slowly came out of him. Then a white nightmare demon showed itself behind Chu Mu, who's kneeling in pain. Chu Mu painfully called the monster white nightmare demon named. Chu Mu looked back while saying it's appearing as soon as he feel weaker. Then the nightmare demon grabs his neck, but Chu Mu tried to calm himself and thinks he must quickly enter the meditation state, so he can recover his soul energy quickly and might be able to make it in time. But the white nightmare demon starts choking him and proceed to get his soul, which made him in pain. Chu Mu angrily tells the white nightmare demon to shut up because if he doesn't let him focus, how does he give him soul energy, which made it shocked and speechless for a moment. But still, the white nightmare demon continued against Chu Mu's soul, which made Chu Mu cry in pain while shakingly assuring himself continuously that he can do it and he won't die no matter what. The morning comes. Chu Mu was lying on the ground while the birds were on top of him. Suddenly Chu Mu opened his eyes, which made the birds shocked. Then Chu Mu sit up wondering why he was still alive while the birds were flying away. Then he looks around and remembers his yesterday's hunt reward. A few hours later, in the houses, Chu Mu was walking while saying that the flame tail has passed the absorption period after it died. But he didn't expect that he can obtain a valuable attribute soul crystal. Chu Mu think after a few days of recovery, Mozai can absorb the soul crystal, which made him happy, making the other kids confused. Meanwhile, in the castle, Zhang tells Kaoyi that on the island Sheng and others' corpses have been found, and they were all killed by humans, which made Kaoyi shocked and hit the table. Then Kaoyi sits down while frustratingly saying those few talented ones suddenly died. Then he asks himself how he will report that to Xia, which made Zhang wonder if Kaoyi is worried that the incident will affect the Nightmare Palace's reward that he gets. Then Kaoyi asks Zhang if there's any clue or evidence. Zhang responded that yesterday night, Chu Mu didn't return just like the others, and Chu Mu is currently the biggest suspect. But with his soul pet's power, Chu Mu won't be a match for all three of the kids. Then Zhang asks if could it be done by some outsiders who entered the island, which made Kaoyi just orders him to send the orders and ask the kids to assemble. A few moments later, Kaoyi and the other members arrived while the kids were looking at Chu Mu, who was very happy. Kaoyi angrily tells the kids that there have been outsiders entering the island and to prevent troubles, the exam will be pushed forward and it starts the next day. Kaoyi also said the top 10 will leave the island with him, but the rest will die, which made Chu Mu stunned and starts panicky, thinking Mozai won't recover in time. Then Kaoyi ordered the kids to get back to their rooms and enjoy their last day, which made the kids panic and afraid, but Chu Mu just starts thinking again. Suddenly someone bumped into Chu Mu, which made him fell to the ground, and when he sat up he saw King angrily looking at him. King told Chu Mu that he better pray that he doesn't get matched up with him the next day and enjoy his last few moments, then left, leaving Chu Mu angry. The next day, Kaoyi announced that the draw of 1 versus 1 duel continues until there remains the last 10, and the weaker one will get eliminated, which means death. Kaoyi also said whether they survive or not depends on whether they can kill their opponent or not. Then he picked a note inside the box and said the first round is King, which made the kid fear and wish that their name won't be called for King opponent. Then the kid wonders which unlucky person will face King the Grim Reaper. King, who's standing in the front, look angrily at Chu Mu, who's in the crowd. Then they look at each other angrily. Kaoyi picked another paper while Chu Mu wonder who's gonna be is it.